West of the 98th meridian, much of America was too dry to support agriculture. At the end of the Civil War, close to 5 million longhorn steer roamed the vast Texas grasslands. To turn these wild cattle into cash, Texas ranchers in 1866 began to drive great herds 1,000 miles north to stops along the new rail lines, where the steer could be loaded onto trains for eastern markets. The cattle frontier became a land of opportunity for the rugged men called cowboys who tended the herds, ex-Confederate soldiers, Southern blacks, and Mexican vaqueros who spent their money in the rough and tumble cow towns of Dodge City, Cheyenne, and Abilene.
A good-sized steer, when it is fit for the butcher market, will bring from $45 to $60. The same animal at its birth was worth but $5. He has run on the plains and cropped the grass from the public domain, and with scarcely any expense to its owner is worth $40 more than when he started on his pilgrimage.
Americans' insatiable hunger for beef promised huge profits to Eastern and European investors who poured money into Western beef. Cattle ranchers battled Indians, Mexicanos, sheep herders, and farmers in range wars for control of millions of acres of public and private domain. At the end of the Civil War, 11 million buffalo still roamed the Great Western Plains. Within 20 years, they had all but disappeared. From the southern tip of Texas north into Canada, cattle had become king. But the free-ranging cattle quickly overgrazed the prairies. And when the weather turned mean in the 1880s, droughts and blizzards decimated the herds, killing millions. By the early 1890s, the great cattle drives were all but over. The invention and mass production of barbed wire enabled ranchers to enclose huge areas for their herds, which they drove to stockyards along the new northern and southern rail lines.